Sportscenter.
I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Jaguars win by a 9-point margin. We had an interesting free agency pickup of note here. Trey's got the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Chris. Let's switch gears and talk about players that'll have new homes in the National Football League, as free agency continues to play such a huge role in determining a team's makeup. Rushin Jones is on the move as he gets a contract for what can only be referred to as crazy money. 4 years, $2.6 million. This guy will also have a new address for a while as he signs a 4-year contract with the Bengals. Bell is on the move, as you see, as he accepts a pretty good offer to leave his current club. 4 years, $1.1 million.
The Seahawks lost this one, but will stay at number 1 in the NFC West. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey?
All right, Boomer, thanks. This week had some big injuries, and we'll get to all of them, but we're going to start right here. Kerry Jenkins sticks out on this list as one of the more costly injuries. X-rays revealing that a broken foot is the report. He'll be out for the rest of the regular season. There's a chance, however, they'll get him back for the playoffs. On to the serious news of the week. This guy is officially on injured reserve. He'll miss the season, and of all the places you hate to lose established players, the offensive line has to be the worst. So that'll do it for now. Chris, let's send it back to you.
In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Giants pick up win number 7. Chris Chambers stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Aaron Brooks went to the end zone 4 times and helped his Saints beat the Panthers. Lions, Titans. Steve Air McNair calls signals at the 12-yard line. He's so dangerous, buying time, moves out of the pocket, fires, touchdown. The Titans win this one by the final score of 29-23. Down in the Lone Star State in Houston, we had the Texans get nipped by 3 points. Up in Ralph Wilson Stadium, we had the Bills get sent away with a 7-point loss. The Patriots defense held their opponents to under 150 passing yards in their win at Gillette Stadium. The Vikings lost their last game of the season on the road. The Packers won this contest but will stay at the first place in the NFC North. Chiefs, Chargers. Trent Green looking over the defense from the 22-yard line. And a pump fake. Everybody stops. Oh, that buys the time for the TD. The Chiefs go on to win this by the final score of 27-6. Chad Johnson stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. Rod Smith had over 50 yards receiving and helped his Broncos beat the Colts. Right on the Mississippi River in St. Louis, we had the Rams get sent home with a 14-point loss. And last but not least, we had the Cardinals come away victorious.
All right, Boomer, thanks. All right, folks, our playoff picture has now been officially finalized. So let's take a look at it now, shall we? We'll begin with a look at the AFC. Meanwhile, over in the NFC, the playoff picture looks like this. So there you have it, the regular season now in the books. Time to see which of these 12 teams will emerge as Super Bowl champs. We'll get it started for you on ESPN next weekend. And that'll do it from here. Chris, let's send it back over to you.
And then there were 12, the playoffs, right around the corner, which means it's time for our regular season awards. But first, my primetime players. The final round of game balls go to these Warriors, each with a standout performance in the final game of the regular season. All right, as promised, here's a look at this year's best of the best, our season-ending NFL award. Peyton Manning, without a doubt, is going to take home the hardware in this one. You see the numbers on your screen, but numbers really don't tell the whole story. Leadership, work ethic, love of the game, that's what truly makes him stand out. He had, without question, the best year of anyone. Steve Air McNair has got to be our choice for Offensive Player of the Year, and you've got to be hard-pressed to find better numbers than that. obviously give a lot of credit to the rest of the offense, but this is the guy that was driving the car, so to speak. John Abraham gets the nod for Defensive Player of the Year, and I'll tell you what, this was a cut-and-dried case. Personally, I can't think of anyone that dominated the line of scrimmage quite like he did. Phillip Rivers comes away with the Offensive Rookie of the Year award. You know, it's very difficult to come straight from college, be handed the keys to an NFL offense, but he stepped in and did a bang-up job. Watch out. He's only going to get better with age. Carlos Dansby was our Defensive Rookie of the Year. Hard to think of any young linebacker with better instincts for the football than he has. He wins it in a landslide. Clinton Portis ran away with the rushing title this year. Talk about a threat out of the backfield, my friends. Finesse, speed, a surprising amount of power, which he used to bowl over the few who actually managed to lay a finger on him. What a year. That'll do it, sports fans. I'm Chris Berman, and thanks so much for joining us here in the Bristol studios. We'll see you next week right here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. I'm Chris Berman. Well, let's get straight to the action. In our first game this week, we had the Patriots bash their way to a 23-point victory. In a long-standing NFC rivalry, we had the Eagles pick up win number 12. We had a big injury in this one, and Trey has the lowdown for us. Trey? Michael Jenkins stepped it up this week and gave his team some added firepower for the win. And in our final game, we had the Broncos come away victorious. And before we leave you on this special wild card edition of NFL Primetime, let's hand out a few game balls to our primetime players. That'll do it, everybody. I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for joining us in the Bristol studios. We'll see you for the Division Championships here on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.